While Hana and Shinichi walk on a chilly December night, Hana reveals her excitement about their first Christmas together. They spend the evening enjoying food and playing games at Hana's place before drifting off to sleep, wrapped in each other's arms. At school, Itsuhito assumes Hana's gloominess is due to Shinichi's absence, so he claims they can still hang out during the school year, lifting her spirits. Hana teases Shinichi, sharing they initially weren't close due to her fear of him as Shinichi arrives, becoming annoyed by her teasing. Itsuhito, amused by their banter, invites them to a free bowling game promo, and Hana mocks Shinichi's bowling skills, further irritating him as he accepts. At the bowling alley, Itsuhito notices Shinichi's calm composure despite Hana's strategic teasing to win the game. However, he rages seeing Hana make his name the Hooligan, and Itsuhito's the Handsome. Hana goes first and leaves only 2 pins, taunting Shinichi, who strikes and reveals his solo practice. Itsuhito thinks Hana is nervous, but she mocks Shinichi for practicing alone, frustrating him. During Shinichi's next turn, Hana's unexpected cheer leads to a gutter ball, and she continuously sabotages Shinichi, but still loses the game, leading to a scolding from Itsuhito. With the loser bound to obey the winner, Itsuhito suggests Shinichi give a smutty command. However, Shinichi accepts Hana's proposal of another game, and both refuse to lose to each other. Meanwhile, Itsuhito just wants the naughty command. The next day, while Akihiko is away, Ami snickers at her plan to make Hana wear an erotic uniform, while dressing Shinichi in the classic black one, hoping to see his muscles. When Hana and Shinichi arrive, Ami encourages them to try on the uniforms, but becomes irritated when Hana protests its inappropriateness for work. Being given a maid uniform, Hana realizes Ami's ulterior motive, scolding her for her fetishes when Shinichi arrives wearing leather pants. Ami becomes crazy, envying Hana's past encounters with shirtless men in high school when Tsuki arrives, declining her invitation to work at the cafe and trying on the uniforms. Ami continues to express her naughty thoughts until Akihiko appears, furious. As punishment, she serves customers in a bunny outfit, and Hana becomes jealous of Shinichi's attention towards her. Late at night, Hana and Shinichi play video games, and her attempt to wake him results in a scolding from Tsuki. The next day at school, Shinichi yawns, giving Itsuhito the wrong idea when he says Hana requested more rounds during their games last night. Shinichi tries to nap in class, and when Hana and classmates enter, they assume he's Hana's boyfriend, intriguing Itsuhito, who hopes for Hana to confess. However, Hana denies the claims, teasing Shinichi and leaving Itsuhito disappointed. Overhearing their conversation, Shinichi is unable to sleep, angered by Hana's teasing. He sleeps after class and Hana joins him, deleting a selfie of them she took before falling asleep. Seeing their romantic sleeping position, Itsuhito and Hana's friends assume they're a couple. At the cafe, Hana and Shinichi panic, telling Itsuhito to delete the photo of them sleeping together. Ami, unaware of the situation, feels excluded, so Hana proposes they all hang out, and Ami eagerly agrees, hoping to witness more of their romantic moments. At the mall, Hana mentions Ami's upcoming graduation, and Shinichi teases Hana's academic skills. Hana rebuts before provoking Itsuhito about rarely going to campus. However, Itsuhito manages his time well and earns enough credits, making Hana jealous of him. Later, while browsing swimsuits, Hana blushes, remembering Shinichi's compliment on her swimsuit. Ami smiles since Shinichi follows her advice, but cries, eager to see Hana's reaction to compliments. Later, Hana and Shinichi play futsal at the court, while Ami hopes for something lewd to happen, like Shinichi becoming naked, stunning Itsuhito. When Itsuhito suggests they start the game, they spot college students bullying middle schoolers, who harshly rebut, leaving them embarrassed. They notice Itsuhito and the others, recognizing Itsuhito from the recent soccer club party and introducing themselves as Sasamoto, Kawakami, and Hamada. Itsuhito mentions the party flopped because of their ignorance and bragging, infuriating the three. They express jealousy about Itsuhito being with cute girls and then challenge them to a soccer game. If they win, they'll meet Ami and Hana, otherwise they'll pay for their entrance fees. Itsuhito dominates the game while Hana mocks Shinichi's skills, so Itsuhito advises him to focus on the ball like when swimming. Shinichi scores a goal but unconsciously knocks out the three, and they all run away, leaving the middle schoolers afraid of Shinichi. Meanwhile, Ami is happy to see Shinichi carrying Hana before bumping into the court's net. The next day, Hana and Shinichi are walking to Hana's house when they encounter a woman running by, followed by her junior. This reminds Hana of Shinichi teasing her as she strangled him, becoming flustered when he mentioned her bosom touching his face. Shinichi notices her blushing and gets hit by her bag before they continue walking. At home, Tsuki praises the udon Shinichi made, and he shares that he practiced making it for a month, giving Tsuki several bags of udon. Shinichi asks to learn a different dish, dish, but Hana criticizes his udon, so he apologizes and asks to master the udon first. Tsuki agrees to teach him, becoming flustered when her bosom accidentally touches Shinichi's arm. Tsuki is terrified, thinking that Shinichi is targeting her despite being Hana's boyfriend. Hana notices that Shinichi is focused on the noodles and nothing else, but Tsuki misunderstands their relationship and asks if Shinichi has done anything strange lately. Hana recalls sleeping with him at school and assumes Tsuki is aware of it, nervously explaining that Shinichi refused to let her go. However, Tsuki misunderstands again and becomes shocked, leading her to take an early rest. Meanwhile, Shinichi perfectly cuts the udon noodles, and Kiri enjoys the udon he made, assuming Hana's senior is a girl before their younger sister Yanagi arrives home. Hana invites Shinichi to the upcoming campus festival, but he declines, preferring to play video games instead. So Hana decides not to go either, and suggests hanging out at Shinichi's place during the festival. Itsuhito arrives tired from the executive committee and asks about their festival plans, to which Shinichi says he won't go. So Itsuhito introduces his plan to make them attend the event's lottery to boost attendance, where students earn stamps for every 500 yen spent in stores to have a chance to win a gaming console. Seeing Hana's desire to obtain the console, Shinichi agrees to attend to help her win. Itsuhito advises them to collect stamps efficiently and wishes them fun on their date, causing them to blush and deny it. At the festival, Shinichi suggests quickly collecting stamps and leaving due to the crowds of people. They play mini-games, including wall climbing, which Shinichi completes before they spot the divination store mentioned by Itsuhito. They join the queue to rest from walking, with Hana planning to learn game tricks and Shinichi seeking apartment advice. They wonder why the strangers passing by assume they're a couple, and Shinichi realizes he's the only man in line before entering the stall. Inside, they find that Hana's friend Ito is the diviner, who assumes they're there for love advice. Shinichi asks about apartments, but Ito reveals the stall specializes in love divination, surprising them. They decide to go elsewhere, but the other diviners refuse to let them leave, so Hana offers to pay for a sticker without divination. They're called rude and irresponsible as others are waiting in line, so they surrender and let Ito continue. The results come out perfect as Ito beams that they're the first perfect couple to appear after a while. Hana and Shinichi blush when Ito tries to convince them to date each other, but the diviners stop her to let the two leave. One of the diviners turns out to be Ami, satisfied to learn about the two's romance before leaving to tell Itsuhito that his plan of inviting them worked. However, she loses track of the two, who realize that Itsuhito set them up. Shinichi can't seem to face Hana, stuttering when she asks if he agrees they have good chemistry, though he's disappointed when Hana perceives divination as a game. With the festival ending, they're sad to not win the console. Meanwhile, the divination incident haunts Shinichi after the festival ends. He observes that Hana is acting as usual, so he decides not to think about the incident anymore. Hana is truly delighted to learn that their chemistry is good and plans to accompany Shinichi forever, so he doesn't feel lonely. Shinichi sees Hana's grin and is urged to confess his feelings, but he only compliments her cooking, making her angry. Hana blushes and slams the table to make him continue eating, as she decides to save hearing his confession next time. However, they both fluster when their hands briefly touch. Hana happily bathes, lost in thoughts of her chemistry with Shinichi, which concerns Yanagi and Tsuki as she unconsciously goes underwater. At the cafe, Hana excitedly shares the incident with Ami, Akihiko, and Itsuhito. She confidently claims she discovered Shinichi's feelings, leaving the three speechless but hopeful for their romance. Ami feels troubled, while Itsuhito and Akihiko realize they can't influence their relationship. Itsuhito searches for Shinichi, but Hana informs him that Shinichi is playing a game at home and doesn't want to join, fearing it would imply they're dating. Itsuhito, although finding her logic tricky, believes it's too late for her to assume this, considering she's been to Shinichi's place multiple times and even called him the safest in the world. Hana agrees, but worries that Shinichi's feelings might have changed due to the divination frustrating Ami. They notice the awkwardness between the two, as neither will confess their feelings, and it seems like they'll stay that way. Later, Shinichi calls Hana for help with a game which she initially declines but can't resist and accepts. After Hana leaves the cafe, Itsuhito and Ami plan to set them up to advance their romance. Days later, while Hana works at the cafe, Itsuhito enters, and Hana informs him that it's Shinichi's day off. Ami and Itsuhito grin as they purposely schedule their shifts at different times, hoping for progress but getting frustrated at the lack of progression. Itsuhito advises Hana to make Shinichi hers before other girls do, including Ami, who has naughty eyes. Ami initially denies it but gets caught daydreaming about Itsuhito's physique when he shows his abs. Itsuhito warns Hana about others like Ami, making her blush, and Shinichi arrives arrives to accompany Hana home. He notices Ami facing the wall, ashamed to face him. While walking, Shinichi finds Hana unusually quiet. She denies it, bluffing about thinking of what to cook later. The following day, Tsuki teaches Shinichi how to measure ingredients with his eyes to speed up the process of preparing ingredients. While Shinichi studies the correct amount of salt, Hana recalls Itsuhito's advice, suddenly panicking to forget about it, worrying Tsuki. She suggests Shinichi come over until he masters croquettes, then asks what Tsuki thinks of Shinichi, making her tense. Just before Hana can ask for advice, she feeds the cats, still in denial of Itsuhito's claim. Tsuki startles when Shinichi goes behind her to proceed to the next step, so he requests to call her by her first name, making Tsuki drop the croquette she's holding into the hot oil. Despite feeling uncomfortable, she lets him and continues to train Shinichi when Hana checks on him, assuring that he won't burn the fried food as he's worrying too much. Tsuki converses with Hana privately regarding her question earlier, claiming a boy should prioritize honesty as Shinichi perfectly fries the croquettes, which Hana compliments. Hana worries again about the naughty beasts surrounding Shinichi. However, she worries more when Shinichi calls Tsuki by her first name. Shinichi visits Hana while she works at the cafe, puzzled to find that she's still annoyed at him for something he's clueless about. Ami and Akihiko sigh in disappointment, making him assume that they've lost trust in him. Just then, Tsuki arrives, concerned about Hana's recent odd behavior, which started after Shinichi cooked croquettes at their place. The store closes as Ami blames Shinichi, realizing that Hana is upset due to Shinichi calling Tsuki by her first name despite using her last. Finding Hana pitiful, Ami suggests they all use first names for the day, and they all encourage Shinichi to talk to Hana. He apologizes to Hana, who forgives him by making him repeat her first name, flustering him as he's called Shinichi. Tsuki wonders why they don't use first names despite dating, prompting Ami to clear Tsuki's understanding next time. Meanwhile, Itsuhito senses something interesting happening during his solo travels. Shinichi walks home drained from Hana's teasing and finds a one-day gym coupon in his locker, so he decides to work out to clear his mind. At the gym, Hana's father Fujio assists him with bench presses, and he impresses other gym members by keeping up with Fujio's intense training. Initially hesitant about joining the gym, Shinichi eventually agrees after encouragement from the other members. He plans to enjoy exercising alone and learning a new dish, certain Hana wouldn't enjoy working out. Fujio comes home and mentions a young boy the same age as Hana joining the gym, hoping Shinichi will invite his peers to make it livelier. He tries to invite Hana, but she's not interested in facing middle-aged men. She informs Tsuki about Shinichi wanting to cook boiled fish, and Fujio becomes eager to meet Shinichi after learning that Hana's senior is a boy. Yanagi arrives from school shortly, and Fujio holds a family meeting to announce Hana's boyfriend, causing Kiri to burst into laughter and claim he's overreacting. Kiri requests to eat dinner, while Yanagi supports Hana, who feels relieved once the topic finally shifts, only to get pestered by Yanagi, who wants to meet Shinichi. An argument arises when Kiri teases Hana for her height, but he and Fujio become embarrassed for being short when Hana reveals Shinichi is taller than them. Fujio disapproves of Hana dating an indecent man, so she lists Shinichi's good traits, including his room which he keeps clean. The family becomes shocked, and Hana blushes, clarifying they only play games there and that Shinichi isn't her boyfriend, surprising them again. Fujio insists Hana likes Shinichi, and Tsuki reveals he made croquettes and udon last time, shattering Kiri's image of Shinichi as a beautiful senior. Fed up, Hana takes a bath, though Fujio remains suspicious of Shinichi. Tsuki recalls overhearing Shinichi wishing to hug something, becoming nervous after assuming he wants to hug her. The family meeting ends with everyone confused about Shinichi. Meanwhile, Shinichi exercises at home to forget about Hana's teasing, and Hana bathes to ease her stress from Fujio. Shinichi has been consistently going to the gym for 3 days, pushing himself harder to forget about Hana calling him by his first name. Meanwhile, Hana feels down to have not seen Shinichi around lately. Shinichi shares with his gym mates that exercise helps him sleep better and eases his mind when Fujio arrives to assist him with the bench press, offering advice on having a toned body to attract girls. He mentions his concerns about his daughter's love life, and their gym mates scold him for revealing her privacy, eventually advising him not to interfere too much since she's an adult who can make her own decisions. Shinichi suggests that some adults may still need guidance from their parents, and Fujio discusses Hana and her senior, leading the members to think the senior may not be interested in Hana. This makes Fujio disagree, becoming angry at the senior's mixed signals. Asked for his opinion again, Shinichi mentions he wouldn't act inappropriately with someone he likes, unaware that he's the senior in question. The members believe Hana's senior is respectful, and they all wonder about the senior's character before resuming their workouts. At home, Hana wonders if Shinichi found a new hobby, lightening up when he replies to her text. Yanagi catches her smiling, making her lie about talking to someone else. Yanagi pesters to meet Shinichi, gaining a scolding from Suki for messing around. The next day, Shinichi visits Hana's house to learn to cook boiled fish, with Suki absent due to errands. Shinichi can't help but feel tense seeing Hana's bosom, while Tsuki stays at the cafe to help them bond alone, still misunderstanding the situation. After cooking, they spend time with Hana's cats, who have grown comfortable with Shinichi, and he feels thankful for the experience. Tsuki meets Shinichi on her way home, and he thanks her for the boiled fish recipe. She assumes they're dating, but he talks about his joy in hugging the cats instead, which Tsuki misunderstands, worrying about his actions towards Hana. On November 2nd, the Uzaki family wishes Tsuki a happy birthday, and the parents are affectionate the next day. Hana realizes she doesn't know Shinichi's birthday, and pesters Itsuhito at the cafe, making him reveal it's on November 29th. Hana worries about what to gift him, making Ami and Akihiko remember his mild reaction to the surprise celebration they prepared last year. Ami suggests naughty outfits, while Itsuhito recommends something that will make Shinichi happy. Hana celebrates Shinichi's birthday with cooking, games, movies, and a cake. Afterward, Shinichi admits he had more fun compared to his last birthday, expressing gratitude for Hana's efforts. Hana proposes he plans a bigger celebration for her next birthday, and he accepts, realizing Hana's caring nature as he no longer gets annoyed by her. They decide to make it an annual tradition, but Shinichi mentions graduating in 2 years, worrying Hana about progressing with him, so she suggests he study another year, annoying Shinichi, who refuses. Yanagi spots Hana looking troubled, so she teases her about Shinichi and offers to give love advice, leaving Hana infuriated. At campus, Hana feels jealous when she sees Shinichi surrounded by girls. Itsuhito catches her stalking and explains that the girls often pretend to have boyfriends whenever there's a drinking party, realizing that they're targeting Shinichi. Hana, confident in Shinichi's feelings for her, doesn't feel the need to accompany him, and she allows Itsuhito to introduce Shinichi to the other girls. Itsuhito flusters with Hana's approach and tells her to confess her feelings to Shinichi directly. However, Hana insists on her year-long plan to make Shinichi confess. Fed up, Itsuhito leaves for class, Shinichi noticing his tiredness as he shares Hana's efforts on his birthday. Shinichi wants to give her something in return, relieving Itsuhito to see their relationship progressing. Hana tries to plan how to make Shinichi confess within a year during lunch. She considers making bentos for him and shares her thoughts with Itsuhito at the cafe, annoying him with her childish idea. He encourages her to keep thinking, while Ami and Akihiko find her idea great, lifting her spirits. Hana claims to easily succeed, however, she struggles with her plans due to her family eyeing her every move. She's uncertain about what to cook for a bento, so Tsuki advises avoiding fast-rotting foods. Yanagi playfully suggests a heart shape, irritating Hana, who agrees to make bentos for everyone. The boys celebrate as Hana finds bento making tedious. The next day, Hana blushes to give Shinichi a bento she made spontaneously for him, flustering Shinichi, who thanks her. They decide to eat together away from the cafeteria to avoid being seen eating the same lunch. Itsuhito eavesdrops on them, surprised to see Hana's plan working. Meanwhile, Fujio boasts about Hana's bento at the gym, eventually getting scolded as it's not yet lunchtime. Hana boasts about her plan's success at the cafe and later plays a frustrating 2-player video game with Yanagi. She reveals that Shinichi prefers single-player games, thus she wants to introduce Shinichi to 2-player ones. When Yanagi mentions meeting Shinichi, Hana leaves to avoid the topic. So Yanagi learns about her workplace from Tsuki. The following day, Hana rushes to work after oversleeping, and Yanagi playfully visits her at the cafe. This irritates Hana into urging Yanagi to leave. However, Shinichi warmly welcomes Yanagi, embarrassing Hana, who's teased by her sister about him. Later, Shinichi realizes that Hana's caring nature is due to being the elder sister, making her feel mocked, but Shinichi claims he's serious. So, Hana plans to keep him away from Yanagi throughout the day. She serves Yanagi's coffee, getting mad when Shinichi approaches to give Yanagi the hot towel she forgot to serve. Yanagi invites Shinichi for a chat, claiming she's heard a lot about him from Hana, who tries to stop him but fails. They converse about games, and Hana finally explodes when Yanagi requests to be called by her first name. At the cafe that closes while Shinichi and Hana argue, Yanagi is puzzled to find that the two still don't call each other by their first names despite their closeness. Ami introduces herself shortly after, claiming she rushed over after hearing about Yanagi, who she finds cute. This makes Akihiko suspicious, but in denial of Ami's ways. Hana, annoyed with Shinichi, decides to call him by his first name for the day, embarrassing him to reciprocate as they'll seem like best friends. This annoys Hana even more, and Shinichi apologizes but still hesitates. Hana questions why she's the only one he doesn't call by her first name, making Shinichi blush to realize that Hana is special to him as she's the only one he struggles to address by her first name. This boosts her confidence, and Yanagi, Ami, and Akihiko watch her fondness for Shinichi with amusement. At home, Yanagi tells Tsuki about meeting Shinichi, and Tsuki advises her not to interfere while Hana works. Yanagi is confused after seeing Ami and Akihiko eat rice during their argument, and learns about Shinichi's gaming hobby, finding it amusing that Hana likes him. Tsuki worries about their intimate relationship, and fears Shinichi may target Yanagi next, so she forbids Yanagi from visiting Shinichi again, misunderstanding the situation once more. Though puzzled to be prohibited from visiting cafes, Yanagi complies. Fujio arrives and asks about Yanagi's whereabouts, but she keeps it a secret so he doesn't gossip about it. Kiri arrives stressed from exams, and Tsuki encourages him to study hard, promising him club activities will continue after exams. Fujio is the only one who understands his situation, so Kiri secretly asks for a free pass to the gym, making Fujio happy after being ignored by the girls. At the gym, Kiri finds it filled with older people, but is excited to relieve his exam stress. He grabs a heavyweight, impressing the weaker elders, and decides to try the bench press. When an old man beside him is strong, Kiri switches to the treadmill. However, an elderly woman runs faster, and Kiri speeds up until he loses balance and falls. Shinichi enters the gym to use the swimming pool, and Fujio encourages him to use the advanced lane to relieve his troubles, unaware that the girl troubling him is his daughter, Hana. Kiri also visits the pool to use the advanced lane, and finds Shinichi there, puzzled to find another person in the same lane. He assumes it isn't a big deal, only to become annoyed by Shinichi's fast swimming. Shinichi swims to forget about the incident with Hana, eventually beating Kiri twice without noticing. In the shower room, Kiri makes excuses about being tired from studying when he encounters Shinichi, feeling overwhelmed by his large member. At night, the sisters wonder why Kiri looks defeated, and Fujio checks on him, excited to hear about his experience in the advanced pool course. However, he's puzzled to find that Kiri only feels more defeated. Since everyone is finished being busy, Fujio suggests the Uzaki family take a trip to a hot spring to relax and swim, piquing the girls' interest. Kiri, however, refuses to go after recalling the incident with Shinichi in the shower room. Despite Fujio wanting to be complete, the family goes to the place without Kiri, assuming he's at the age where he prefers to be alone. He hears Yanagi teasing Hana about Shinichi, which makes him drive faster, becoming angry at him. Fujio reflects on Hana spending more time outside, sometimes even going overnight, while Tsuki and Yanagi keep quiet despite knowing Shinichi. Worried about his relationship with Hana drifting apart, he doesn't notice his speeding, as the man driving in front fears his safety. In the hot spring, the sisters are amazed at the place's interior as they change into swimsuits and bathe in the water. Fujio feels relieved to see the children enjoying themselves, and the family tries out the various baths, becoming intrigued by their uniqueness. They try the fish spa, where Fujio tells the sisters to quiet down as they laugh at the fish tickling their feet, eventually giving up and leaving. He accidentally slips into the pool and gets tickled on the chest, making Tsuki scold him for his weird noises in a public place. The sisters wait for their parents when two men flirt with them and invite them for a drink, which they decline. Yanagi claims they're juniors to ward off the men, but Fujio angrily scares them away, concerned for his children's safety in swimsuits. The girls reassure him, and he becomes emotional, only to get angry again when Tsuki is surrounded by men. However, Fujio lightens up when a group of boys admires his muscular body, allowing them to take pictures as he offers fitness advice. Tsuki and the sisters watch Fujio, and Hana wanders around alone, discovering a cave bath where she unexpectedly encounters Itsuhito and Shinichi. Itsuhito clarifies he didn't set them up, and Shinichi reveals joining Itsuhito's trip, finding that he can talk normally with Hana again after swimming at the gym. Itsuhito grins, revealing that Shinichi claimed to be busy recently, but makes Hana his priority, flustering the two as Shinichi tries to shut him up. Hana invites him to hang out, but he refuses and advises her to prioritize spending time with her family. Recalling Fujio's desire to bond with them, Hana agrees, and Shinichi compliments her swimsuit before they part ways and continue their trips. Hana returns to Tsuki and Yanagi, who notice her good mood as they all decide to call Fujio to eat dinner together. Back at home, they share their experience with Kiri, who worries about his sisters getting flirted with. Seeing they had fun, Kiri becomes jealous of their trip and pesters to go out again next week, promising that he'll join them. He expresses excitement to flirt with other girls, gaining a slap from Yanagi and Hana, who scold him. While walking around campus, Hana mentions Ito's date with a man, making Ito blush as she talks about Hana's date with Shinichi. Although they have no plans yet, Hana is confident that Shinichi will ask her out because she's special. At Shinichi's place, Hana grins, assuming Shinichi will ask her out for Christmas, but her imagination runs wild, making her anxious. She recalls calling Shinichi the safest creature in the world, and battles her thoughts until he approaches and asks her to take that off. Hana misunderstands, thinking he means something else, and punches him when she realizes he wants his shirt back. She claims not to regret removing his scent, almost crying as Shinichi is embarrassed by her smelling his shirt. The next day, Hana seeks revenge by making Shinichi watch a horror movie, leaving him confused about her anger. However, Hana is the only one who gets terrified, still insisting on finishing the movie to see Shinichi scared, but eventually gets too scared herself. Later, Shinichi plans to accompany her to the station due to the late hour, but Hana is too scared to walk alone in the dark streets and begs to spend the night. He agrees when she offers to cook his meals the next day. Shinichi gets a futon for Hana, who teases that it's practically hers since she's the only friend who sleeps over. Annoyed, he urges her to bathe, feeling uneasy about her stay due to the previous incident. Hana playfully warns him not to peek while she undresses, making him turn off the bathroom lights to scare her. Shinichi checks her bag for ingredients, shrieking to discover her large bra. After bathing, Hana confesses she left her underwear at his place in case she needs to spend the night. Hana borrowed Shinichi's shorts, which turned out to be his underwear, flustering them both. She hurries to do laundry to escape, and Shinichi's father calls, mentioning him bringing a girl over and promising to keep it a secret as long as Hana doesn't visit too often. This annoys Shinichi, who clarifies the situation. Later, Ami and Itsuhito meet Hana at a restaurant, but Shinichi is absent as he's visiting his parents. Inside, Hana shares that Shinichi hasn't visited his parents in 2 years and was annoyed by a phone call. At Shinichi's parents' house, Haruko welcomes him and questions his long absence. She surprises him with a baby sister, Nodoka, which he doesn't know about. It turns out his father, Shiro, kept it a secret, but warmly welcomes Shinichi home. While drinking, Hana wonders why Shinichi lives alone, unaware that Shiro forced him to move out to rekindle his romance with Haruko. Shiro also admits to blocking Haruko's contact to keep him away, enraging Shinichi, who wishes to leave. However, Haruko insists he stays overnight to meet Nodoka, which he does awkwardly. Hana gets drunk and vents about Shinichi's flaws, amusing Ami and Itsuhito, who advise her to confess directly when he returns. Hana recalls Shinichi teaching her to swim in high school, noting that he wasn't an effective teacher, despite being a skilled swimmer. Shinichi started swimming in his first year of high school and improved with the senior's guidance, revealing that he taught her because it's safer to train with another person. When she asked about his middle school club, he mentioned joining the baseball club but quitting after a year because he didn't enjoy it. Hana realized she was his first junior in terms of club activities before resuming her swimming practice. Still drunk, Hana praises Shinichi's strength and speed despite his lack of coordination when using objects with his body. She shares more about him, amusing Itsuhito and Ami, who encourage her to drink more. Meanwhile, Shiro is delighted to see Shinichi and Nodoka getting along, taking many pictures that annoy Shinichi. They practice judo before eating and bathing, and Shiro notices Shinichi's improvement, but easily beats him and gives tips afterward. He hopes Shinichi visits again, proposing that he talk about his girlfriend if he's beaten in judo 10 times. But Shinichi corrects that he and Hana are not dating. This makes Shiro question why they were together in Shinichi's room late at night, and he tries to explain but gets knocked down for being a loser. He plans to make Shinichi share the whole story, but Haruko scolds them for messing around and making the dinner get cold, knocking down Shiro in the process. At home, Tsuki and Yanagi watch Ami and Hana sobering up with water. Before Ami leaves, Yanagi secretly asks about Hana and Shinichi's progress and suggests a plan to help them. While bathing, Shinichi worries about what to do with Hana when Shiro joins him. They eat afterward, with Haruko giving Shinichi too much rice for only visiting now. The next day, Fujio and his gym buddy Masashi visit the cafe to see Shinichi, and Akihiko reveals that he and Masashi are classmates. They invite Itsuhito and Akihiko to join them at the gym, and they accept. They notice Shinichi's repetitive actions, and Akihiko acknowledges it's a common occurrence, but Shinichi appears more troubled today. Shinichi recalls Shiru's advice to do it properly and becomes concerned about Hana as he's unsure of what doing it properly means. Fujio asks if he's troubled about that girl again, sparking jealousy in Akihiko and Itsuhito. They laugh it off, and Akihiko suggests Shinichi should define his goals with the help of those around him. Before leaving, Fujio hopes to see a more spirited Shinichi the next time at the gym. The following day at campus, Shinichi plans to thank Hana for everything and treat her nicely. However, before he can say anything, Hana teases him about spending Christmas alone. She mentions being invited to a Christmas party and jokingly plans to decline to hang out with him instead. Annoyed by her teasing, Shinichi forbids her from visiting his place, rants about her behavior, and walks away. At the cafe, Ami and Itsuhito scold Hana for messing up with Shinichi. Hana plans to just let things cool down, making Itsuhito mention them joining the Christmas party that the girls invited them to, causing Hana to become anxious. So Akihiko suggests she apologize sincerely for forgiveness. At home, Yanagi advises her to act wisely to avoid spending a lonely Christmas like Kiri, which annoys him. Hana claims to have already apologized and leaves to avoid Yanagi's teasing, making Suki reprimand Yanagi for her behavior. Yanagi finds their situation amusing, and Kiri plans to keep his girlfriend girlfriend a secret from Yanagi if he ever gets one. The following day, Yanagi visits the cafe and suggests to Shinichi that they hang out on Christmas, shocking Hana as Ami and Akihiko understand Yanagi's plan to reconcile them. Yanagi requests to visit Shinichi's place, but Hana refuses and invites him to spend Christmas Eve at their home instead. Already planning to unban her, Shinichi smiles and accepts the invitation, and Hana plans to inform their father, Fujio, about his visit. However, on Christmas Eve, Fujio is still unaware of Shinichi's visit. As they walk to Hana's house, Shinichi notices her unusual silence, making her express excitement about their first Christmas together. When they arrive, Fujio happily greets Shinichi, but they both become speechless to see each other, and Fujio becomes angry. Meanwhile, Kiri celebrates with his swimming club members, who all sigh in the hope of having a girlfriend. Tension fills the room as Fujio glares at Shinichi and eventually recognizes him from the gym. Suddenly feeling anxious about his children finding out that he discussed Hana's love life with Shinichi, he pulls Shinichi aside to request he keep their conversation a secret to avoid angering Hana. Shinichi agrees, and Fujio plans to continue the discussion next time, slightly scaring Shinichi as they return to the family with a smile. Shinichi reveals already knows Fujio, which lightens Hana up to making him eat the food she prepared. However, Fujio becomes angry to assumes they're flirting, flustering the two, who clarify they're not. Meanwhile, Kiri's friends take an interest in his sisters, and another friend surprises them all when he says Kiri is the cutest. After dinner, Fujio requests Shinichi keep their secret and help Hana enjoy the night. As time passes by, the pressure leads Shinichi to request a timeout. They both wish to forget the incident, and Shinichi suggests getting drunk to erase his memories for the night. So, Fujio hands him all the sake they have, and Shinichi drinks until he's drunk. Fujio attempts to get Shinichi home, but Hana, also drunk, teases his defenseless self. Tsuki requests that Shinichi continue taking care of Hana, which overjoys her when he expresses gratitude for her efforts. Shinichi opens up about his father's flirtatious nature, thus his struggle to interact with girls. Revealing that he's been troubled by how to treat Hana after Shiru's claim, Fujio realizes that Shinichi genuinely likes Hana. Walking home from the convenience store, Fujio admires Shinichi's genuineness and wonders about his family's situation. He decides to be kinder only to arrive home shocked to see the girls undressing Shinichi. Earlier, Hana teased Shinichi about his low alcohol tolerance, and Yanagi suggested they punish him for losing their card game. They decided to undress him, and Tsuki, also drunk, initially tried to stop them, but eventually prioritized keeping his clothes unwrinkled. Presently, Fujio stops them and checks on Shinichi once he's dressed and slightly sober. They call a cab to take him home, and Hana accompanies him, feeling guilty for her actions. In the cab, Fujio apologizes and expresses hope to see Shinichi again. At Shinichi's place, Hana prepares his futon, and he promises to treat her better, making Hana blush and hug him. To her surprise, Shinichi hugs her back, and they fall onto the futon together. Meanwhile, Kiri forbids his friends from meeting his sisters, and his friend flirts with him. Shinichi leans in toward Hana but falls unconscious beside her, so she returns to the cab flustered by the incident, eventually getting angry with Fujio for intoxicating Shinichi. At the cafe the following day, she finds Ami grinning at Shinichi's drunk pictures. Ami pays for the pictures to show gratitude, increasing her payment twice despite Hana's questions about her spending habit. Shinichi arrives, puzzled by the commotion, and mentions the previous night which he can't remember. Annoyed, Hana shocks Shinichi by revealing his undressed pictures, and the store opens with Hana feeling somewhat relieved that he's forgotten everything. Walking home, Shinichi mentions Itsuhito's idea for everyone to visit the shrine for New Year, and Hana agrees. After parting ways, Shinichi rushes home flustered about the incident with Hana the previous night. Shinichi is still troubled by the incident and struggles to focus on judo training with Shiro. He denies having any worries about Hana, stating that he's only exercising there because the gym is closed for New Year. Shiro reveals that he inherited the training hall as a son-in-law, which doesn't bother him, especially since the kids he teaches refer to him as teachers. He teases Shinichi about his current state and potential inheritance, leading to a fight in which Shiro emerges victorious. Later, Shinichi joins Itsuhito and Akihiko at the shrine, greeting them with a Happy New Year. He confides in them, seeking advice on what to do about Hana's feelings for him, only to learn that everyone is already aware of her feelings. Itsuhito scolds Shinichi for not taking action despite knowing, adding to his stress. Akihiko mentions that Ami and Hana have arrived, so they wish Shinichi luck and leave to join the girls. Shinichi decides to face his problem as they watch the first sunrise of the year. He holds Hana's hand, and they both blush as he stutters, trying to confess. However, he resorts to wishing to hang out with her more, as Hana smiles and accepts.